So as regular viewers will know, you see a lot of me sitting in this polytunnel, in this chair, talking about gardening. And I get a lot of requests from people saying, can you do some more basic videos? And can you do some more hands-on videos where you're actually showing how to sow and how to prick out and how to plant and all of that. So I'm trying to evolve a format for those sorts of videos, and I'm going to show you one of those today, and I might show you another one in a few days' time. And yeah, so me and my daughter and one of my sons who's doing the photography. So I'd like your feedback really. What do you think about this sort of format? Do you like it? It's a little bit clumsy in these early videos as we just sort of get used to doing it. But yeah, what sort of information would you like in these videos and all of that sort of thing? So take a look and let me know what you think.
So Dad, what are we sowing now?
So today we're going to do onions, main crop onions. And so it's nice to start these nice and early, kind of February time. And I like to sow them 3 or 4 seeds to each of these module cells. And hopefully 3 or 4 will germinate, ideally 3, because I think 3 seems to provide the best balance of kind of size, so you get medium-sized onions, but you get a really nice big yield. And we're going to sow them about 1 centimetre deep. So again, we just want to firm this compost down and refill.
Okay, so we're putting them in 1 centimetre deep.
Yeah, I just use my fingernail.
Okay.
So when you sow these, I like to just pick a pinch between my fingers and then just kind of just roll my fingers until I get 3 or 4 in. And if you get just a few too many, you know, it's not a problem, because you could go up to 5 seeds in here with no issues. So although I'm looking for a sort of average of 4, if I got the odd few with 3, it would be no problem. So just cover those over and smooth them in, and we'll give them a really good water.
So where do we store these now, Dad?
So onions, they germinate over a really wide range of temperatures. So, you know, sort of right down to sort of 5 degrees to mid-20s. So you can pretty much germinate if you want. I like to germinate them about 18 degrees.
So are these the onions that we planted last month?
No, these are the ones we started back in February, beginning of February. So these are now ready. And you see a nice little bit of root growth on those, but they're not pot bound. And we've got 4 seedlings in each module, which is just fine.
So is this where we're planting the onions?
Yeah, and this is the bed that we previously had the carrots, and we had it interplanted with lettuces.
Okay.
So
Perfect. So are we going to prepare it first?
yeah, and because it just had carrots in,
Yeah.
and so carrots don't really need much in the way of fertiliser. This bed is not very well fertilised, so I'm just going to put a little bit of bloodfish and bone down, just a sprinkle. And then we're going to mulch it with well-rotted cow manure.
Okay. It looks like there's a couple left in this bed. Let's pull them out before we put them in.
So this about 2 inches here of well-rotted cow manure, and it's a lovely mulch and it's sterile, so we really shouldn't get too many weeds establishing in it. And all we need to do is just dib our holes in here. I like to dib about 70 plants in a square metre, and these beds are about 2 square metres, so we'll work out what that means in a minute. It's per 70 seedlings per square metre, so we want to do 70 divided by 3.
Okay. 23.
Okay, so we're going to go for 25 modules per square metre.
Okay.
So we're going to do 5 by 5. So 5, find the centre, find the centre, and then 5 the other way. Find the centre, find the centre. So with onions, I like to give them a balanced feed, so that's why I gave them that blood, fish and bone, and that's kind of ideal because there's a bit of nitrogen in it which gets the onions started and gives them a lot of good leaf growth, and they don't start to bulb until about the middle of May, and by that time you want, it's quite good leaf growth on them, enough to support sort of rapid bulbing, but not too much nitrogen, otherwise you just get too much leaf growth. And so obviously we don't want that, because we want bulbs as well. And once we've got these planted, we're going to cover them with a bit of fleece, because there's still frosts in our future here, and the more frosts onion seedlings are exposed to, the greater the risk of them going to seed. So when I'm planting these, I like to plant them about an inch down, maybe a little bit deeper, so that they're just kind of at the level of the original soil and well below the mulch level. And the reason I like to do that is because I like to get the roots deep down where there's more access to water. But also I like these little depressions that I've created here, because these kind of trap the water as well, and again in a dry summer they improve the hydration of the roots. So we've got about 400 seedlings in here at the moment, and I'm just firming them in with 2 fingers like that. And I'll be thinning these down to 3 seedlings and eating the spares as salad onions in about a month's time. It's worth doing it that way, just because if any of them fail, then we've still got 3 seedlings. So it is going to rain tomorrow, but I am just going to settle them in with a little bit of water, because the rain is never as intense as a watering can. Netting it up now, keep them nice and warm, and particularly, just protect them a little bit from the wind. I'll just pull it nice and tight. And then we'll clip down the sides.
So Dad, how tight does the net need to be?
I like to put it quite nice and taut, because when it gets wet it does sag down a bit.
Yeah.
And when I see the onions, the tips of the onions kind of pushing through the net, that's the point at which I'll take it off, which will be about mid-May. So, hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.